I'm Garrett. I've been a wedding photographer for 14 years, and lately I've been wanting to do something that I've wanted to do for my whole career. Make YouTube videos about wedding photography. I go through these bouts where I feel like talking about wedding photography. I have so much experience stored away in my head, and I just want to get it out and share it with everybody because I basically learned wedding photography through, one, doing it, but also watching countless YouTube videos. So I want to give back in a way. I've just never really been consistent about it. And I think a lot of you as creative-minded people can probably relate to that. However, I caught the bug again, and here I am making another video. I had no idea what kind of video I was gonna make until I decided maybe I'll just make a what's in my bag video, kind of update everybody on what kind of equipment I'm using nowadays. But then I realized I made one of these videos 10 years ago. That's a long time ago. A lot has changed since then. So I started watching it yesterday and wow, it's really bad. I'm sorry that 25,000 of you watched it. But in the spirit of having fun, which is at the heart of what I always try to do in wedding photography, I'm thinking I wanna just go over that video with all of you and point out all the things that I was wrong about, maybe some of the things that I was right about. I don't know, I haven't seen the entire video yet, so there might be some nuggets in there that you can still pull from, but I will definitely update you on what kind of equipment I'm using in a later video. For now, I think I just want to dive back into this 10-year-old video and have a laugh at my own expense just to kind of break back into this YouTube stuff. So without further ado, let's go check out what I was using in December of 2015. Sick intro. Not.
What's up, everybody? Garrett here with Practical Wedding Photographers.
Look at this
Welcome
getup.
to the next episode.
I'll say the first thing that I learned was the power of presentation, maybe. I didn't bother to clean my desk. I didn't bother to put on regular clothes. I have a white t-shirt that's wrinkled with stained sweatpants. What the hell was I doing? And look at that beard. Not to mention, like, clearly I'm not really wearing the nicest stuff, but look at that beard, man.
So after my Tamron 35mm 1.8 videos, I was kind of stuck and didn't know which direction to go in. Therefore, today we're doing what's in my bag. We're going to go over all the stuff that I use for my wedding photography arsenal, from cameras to lighting to lenses to all the accessories that I use. And then from there you can kind of ask me questions in the comments if you're interested in learning about one of the pieces that I use.
I said to ask me questions in the comments. I look back at the comments today. I don't think I answered any of them. Maybe 2 or 3. Oops, sorry. Maybe I'll get to them 10 years from now.
And I'll make a video dedicated to that piece of equipment. So without any further introduction, let's get started. I'm using a Canon 6D for my video right now, and that's
Those cameras were awesome. I do still have a special place in my heart for that 6D.
the camera that I use for my wedding photography. It has the Tamron 35mm 1.8, which I already made a video about, so I don't
Still use that lens.
need it for this one. But yeah, that's my main body. It's great. Does 4.5 frames per second, I think. The best feature I think about
4.5 frames per second was something to write home about back then, apparently.
Wi-Fi. And in today's day and age with weddings, everyone has a hashtag. So what I do is when
Nobody uses hashtags anymore. Those died quick.
I do use 2 bodies. They're both the same. Makes it really easy for.
Damn. Look how large that camera is. It has the battery grip. It's got the 70 to 200 attached to it. That thing must have been like 15 pounds. Why was I carrying that around so often? I use that a lot, and I wonder why I have back and neck problems now. Not to mention the way I'm sitting in this video.
Your custom functions, keeping all of your settings straight across the board the same. And I use Peak Designs hand straps. I have 2 of them. The other one's in here somewhere.
Those hand straps were very good. I do miss using those. Although I'm not complaining about my alternative now.
So yeah, 2 6D bodies. Battery packs on both of them. Let's jump into lenses. As you can see here, I have...
All right, real quick. 2 6D bodies. Those were single card slot cameras. I would highly recommend not using single card slot cameras on wedding days. I did it, so I can't be mad at you for doing it. I never got into any trouble because of it, but I was leaving that door open. And that's not a wise decision when you have somebody's once in a lifetime memories on those memory cards. So don't risk it like I did.
Sigma's 70 to 200 f2.8 lens. This version has optical stabilization.
70 to 200 is way too big to be carrying around during weddings. I had it for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years. And the main reason that I did get rid of it was just because of how bulky it was. Having that in my sling bag or attached to my camera at all times was not doing me any favors. Instead, now I use 2 prime lenses, which I'll talk about in my next What's in My Bag video.
There's piece number 1. Lens number 1. Showed you the Tamron 35, Canon's 50mm.
I just glossed over the Tamron 35 because I had 2 other videos, full videos about it. The Tamron 35 is still in my bag. I don't use it quite as often as I did back at this point in my career. It's more of a specialty lens. We'll talk about that again in my next video.
f1.4.
I use this very lens today still.
Many of you have or have used a 50mm lens. It's pretty much an essential for any kind of photography.
It's my favorite.
Fairly sharp, quick to focus, gives great depth of field. Use that lens all the time. Also have Canon's 85mm f1.8.
Still use this lens as well.
Same kind of deal. Depth of field is excellent. 85mm is great for portraits. I use it a lot as well for ceremony when I have, when I'm close enough where I don't need to use the 70 to 200. This is excellent for that. Also great for the Brennheiser method. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's
What? Why didn't I explain it to you? I'll do it now. The Brennheiser method is when you combine a tight lens with a shallow depth of field, like this 85-1.8, and you create a panorama, usually of 3 or more. I do like 50 image panoramas in order to maintain that shallow depth of field, but still get a wide angle of view. So it's effectively like using, say, a 20mm f0.25 lens. Those numbers scientifically might be a little bit off, but you get what I'm trying to say. Wide angle, very shallow depth of field. Something that no regular consumer market lens can do.
Another one that's created a little bit of a puzzle reaction is the 14mm Bauer f2.8 lens that I use.
Puzzled reaction. I don't know anybody who reacted puzzledly to finding out that I use a 14mm lens at weddings. I know I did make a video about this. I don't know if it was before or after this video. Maybe I'm talking about people in the comments on that video. I don't remember any off the top of my head. But I don't use this lens anymore. Last time I used it was probably 5 years ago, 2021, doing astrophotography at Zion National Park, I think. But I really did love having the 14mm angle of view, so I use something similar still.
It's manual aperture. It's got the manual ring and manual focus. So a lot of people wouldn't think that it's the greatest lens for wedding photography. But
I guess that's true.
I have used it for about 6 months now, and I absolutely love it. I don't know what I would do without it now. I use it for every single wedding, and I would say probably about 40% of the photos that I shoot during the day are with the 14mm.
That kind of tracks because I wouldn't say 40%, but maybe a third of the photos that I use, a third of the photos that I take, I use the lens that has kind of taken over this spot. So I guess my approach hasn't changed too much.
I'm going to make a video on this one, so don't even have to ask about that.
So I made the video after this one.
So I also use these little extension tubes.
Don't use these anymore.
Photography. I'm not the biggest fan of shooting rings and stuff like that, but there are couples who like that, and they'll request some ring shots, so these are great for them. They have a 31mm, 21mm, and 13mm extension tubes. Fit right on the camera, and then your lens goes right inside. And they give you different degrees of magnification. I haven't scientifically really figured out what each one does, but I just play around until I find what I like.
That sounds a lot like me still. I still couldn't tell you what each of those focal lengths for those extension tubes means. I don't use them anymore, so out of sight, out of mind, right?
Okay, so here we have my shoulder strap, like I said.
Oh, I love this strap. This was comfortable.
Amazon brand, but works great. Screws right into the bottom, sling strap, and it has the nice little strap here for stabilization.
That's right.
And then, like I said, what I do is I have my one camera attached to this, and then my other camera can be attached to my lens bag here. Clip it in.
It's a pretty good setup.
Two cameras. This brand is called Focus. Really clever. Hot shoe flash adapter. I use a lot of off-camera flash, and not all of my stands have one of these on them at all times.
Now all of my stands have one at all times. And it's not a hot shoe adapter, it's an S-mount adapter. Far easier to work with.
So I like to carry a backup in my bag. I also carry one in my strobe light bag, just in case I need it.
Strobe light.
You can never have too many of these. I lose them, I break them, but Amazon, you can get them for like $3 each. But, I mean, as you can see, it would go into the stand like that, and then you can...
What am I doing? Why am I demonstrating how a flash stand works?
I use Photix's lighting system.
I don't use Photix lighting anymore. I'm now using Godox. Not that I'm loyal in any way. It's just budget effective. They work well. Pretty universal with my second shooters. But Photix was pretty good too.
The Photix Odin. This is the 1.5 version. This is the transmitter. So this sends the signal from the hot shoe on your camera to any kind of receiver that might be using the same system. This is one of the receiver triggers that can be attached to a flash.
Receiver triggers? Aren't those opposite? Those are two different things, aren't they?
And what this does is you can change different groups. So there's 3 groups that you can use if you have lights in different areas and you want to turn one off and keep one on. There's 3 different groups, A, B, and C, and different channels, so you can have multiple flashes on that group. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
All stuff that the Godox system does now.
So you can really control up to 12 flashes at one time, which I wouldn't say is practical, but I would definitely love to try it. The great part about using Photix's system is that it works with the Photix Mitros Plus flashes, which are what I use all the time now. So these have the Odin units built into the flash system.
I was going to say, I don't miss having to use the transmitters and receivers to attach my flashes to. That was excessive. I'm very glad technology has caught up with that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
I still use 3 speed lights.
One of them I have some Velcro taped around. Don't need to do this because they have adapters for these, but...
Still use these Velcro grids. Smaller ones, but still Velcro grids.
This is a flash grid. So what this does is it kind of directs the light and eliminates any kind of spill that you might get. So if you have some kind of moody portrait that you're trying to shoot where you want light specifically on the side of someone's face, or if you want to spotlight a couple in an area, a big area, this is great to use for that because you don't get that extra spill all around the subject.
I did kind of know what I was talking about back then, see? I had some valuable information to share.
Very cheap, very useful. These flashes run on AA batteries, and I use rechargeable and always have a charger with me.
That charger exploded in Italy. Literally exploded. I plugged it in using a European adapter to charge my batteries for these Photix speed lights. Walked away for 10, 15 minutes, and then there was an explosion. I don't know how else to put it. It exploded. Plastic was everywhere. There was smoke, shrapnel around the room. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It was an actual explosion. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but it's safe to say that I stopped using rechargeable batteries after that.
I have hot shoe flash stands.
Still use these.
Say backlight a couple, and I don't want to put it on a stand. I just want to put it on the ground. Balances just like that. Can turn the flash, adjust it. These are great little nifty things to have. Got a couple of them in there, and I also have a couple in my lens bag and the strobe bag. Can never have too many AA batteries, especially when you use a lot of off-camera flash like I do.
You can totally have too many AA batteries. That's why the rechargeable lithium-ion battery packs for the Godox ones are so much better.
Memory card, little bookcase there. Extra tools, tripod mount.
Still got that in there.
The key for the Peak Design.
I might actually still have that tool in my bag. I just don't have the Peak Design hand strap anymore.
Attachment in here. I can loosen and tighten it. I keep a lens cloth from Unique Photo in Fairfield, New Jersey.
Smart.
Little collapsible lens cloth here. Checkbook to pay my second shooters.
Before Venmo and Zelle and all that. Wow. Technology's come so far.
Earplugs for the really loud DJs at wedding receptions.
Take care of your body.
Battery charger. Battery charger. Battery charger. With extra batteries. Because you never know when they might die. All my lens caps and hoods that I don't use at the moment. I don't really use caps on the fronts of my lenses, as you can see.
Still don't.
I use the back caps. And the body caps I really don't usually use for my cameras because I always have a lens on them anyway. First aid kit.
I don't have a first aid kit in my bag anymore.
Mini softbox for flash that goes right on it. Stick the flash head in there.
I might have that exact mini softbox still in my bag. I know it's one like that. I don't remember if it's that exact one or not, though.
This is good for really quick portraits if you want to use off-camera flash when you don't want to set up your gigantic strobe. And I actually do find myself using this a lot.
I do.
Again, that's something you can get on Amazon for $15 a pen to sign my checks. More Peak Design hardware. More earplugs. These are reusable ones. And some more batteries in there. Lens cloth. We got a user manual.
Why?
We've got...
I was probably too lazy to throw it out.
Another memory card holder.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the first time I was looking through whatever pocket I'm looking through right now. It seems like this is all just new to me.
Came with the bag that I don't use. More stuff from the bag. I think that bag is fully covered now.
All right, so that's like the bulk of my stuff. I guess I have more, though. Let's see.
Let's go to the strobe bag.
Ah, the strobe bag, of course. I don't use a strobe anymore.
I use the Photox PPL.
I use Godox, what are they? AD200s. They're half as strong as this strobe, but honestly, I don't ever need anything as strong as this strobe anymore. I've learned how to work around it. Dynamic range in cameras is way better than it was back in 2015. So with my approach to weddings now, a strobe is just way too excessive. I do love the look of it still, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to streamline everything, and strobes really just weighed me down.
Strobe light. And
yeah, look how big this thing is.
What this does is it allows me to take controlled light portraits in the middle of a sunny day where it would be very hard to control the light and the direction of the light without using a reflector or battling the sun.
There was no receiver built into this, so I had to plug this light into that Photox Odin receiver using a sync cable, like an auxiliary cable. Feels freaking prehistoric at this point.
So this has 400 watts output of light. I have one of the Photox Odin receivers mounted onto it with a sync cord so that I can wirelessly trigger it. Comes with a battery pack.
That battery pack is huge. Did you see how big that was? Look at this. I just kind of glossed over it, but look at this. That's humongous. And I was cool with that. That's probably more cubic inches than an AD200 is. And that's just the battery.
And a Bowens adapter for one of the attachments that I have. And then my collapsible beauty dish softbox goes on the adapter. And this is the only attachment that I have right now. It's the only one that I've needed. And
I love this modifier. It's very tactile opening that thing.
Pretty niftily opens up. And this has been through a couple years of use.
I don't use anything this big anymore.
Wear or tear a little bit, but still does the job. this just softens the light and adds a little bit of a spill, not a spill effect, but a flat, even light coverage.
Soft. It softens the light. That's what I was trying to say.
Mounts right to a flash light stand without the adapter. This adapter that I told you I had more in here. It gets wired.
So many wires.
From the unit to the battery, and the battery will give you quite a few full power flashes.
It better.
The great thing about this is that it uses high-speed sync. So any of you who know about trying to get f1.8 portraits in the middle of the day with controlled light know that you need high-speed sync to do that, because
see, that would have been a really great video to make. How to do 1.8 low aperture, shallow depth of field portraits in the middle of a sunny day. That would have been valuable rather than just talking about it here.
Your ISO only goes so low, and 1.8 lets in a lot of light. And then the last bag, so it's really what's in my bags, not my bag. My lens bag. During the wedding day, I'll have my lens bag filled with the things that I use the most, which are usually my memory cards, which will be in
Still
here.
do that.
Couple lenses, probably the 70 to 200, the 35 and the 50, maybe the 14, depending on what I'm using at the time. But when I'm not using it at a wedding, I use it to carry my video lights.
I forgot I used these.
And video lights are a very underrated source of light for wedding photographers, especially for portrait purposes. Let me get a battery and put one of these in. Actually, this one has.
While I'm putting my battery in here, I don't use these anymore. However, I totally could benefit from them. So maybe I'll go purchase some after watching this. Honestly, most of the time when I need light, I know how to use my flash well enough to get what I need. But I do kind of forget how easy these were to work with. So could be worth picking up a couple of them.
So it's a controllable amount of light, and it comes with some filters, which I have right here.
There are far better ones nowadays that have color temperature controls and everything built in. But I remember this one was very cheap on Amazon, and it really did the trick for me for a while.
Got these for $35 on Amazon, and Amazon is my savior, pretty much.
See?
So you can, warm it up if you need to. Puts right in there. Now it's a warmer light.
I wouldn't call Amazon my savior anymore. Just want to put that out there. Not such a big fan of Mr. Bezos anymore.
No. It's a cooler light. Not the most intuitive thing, because, you can't really adjust the actual temperature, but you can kind of adjust where you want the temperature to be going, and then from there, in Lightroom, you can always adjust perfectly what temperature you want it to be. Also, very important to keep in your lens bag, or on you at all times, business cards.
I don't use business cards anymore. I just tell people my Instagram handle, GTPhotoNJ, if you're interested.
You never know when someone might ask for a business card.
People ask for business cards all the time. I just say I don't use them.
Some tape, more batteries. So that is about it, guys. Batteries, memory cards. This is the 24 to 72.8 that I don't use anymore because I got the 35mm 1.8.
Not that they're the same in any way.
Yeah, so in the comments, leave a question, leave a request.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. That was hard to watch. Okay, so I guess a lot has changed, and at the same time, not too much has changed. First of all, I'm very happy that I've evolved from the presentation style that I had back in 2015. I'm kind of surprised that I still use so much of the same stuff. I thought that there would be more difference between then and now. But there's definitely a healthy amount of improvement in my new what's in my bag to come. I certainly know a lot more about what I'm talking about when it comes to my equipment and why I use my equipment. I'm really excited to share all that with you in my next what's in my bag video. So if you want to know what a 14-year wedding photography veteran has in their bag in 2026, subscribe, keep your eyes out for the new video. Let me know what you thought about my old tips. Maybe there's something that you did get from it. I know I did. I might go out and buy a video light now. But Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.